It says we're live, so welcome from the crossroads of America. Talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in chat or by email at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other good stuff in the info section below. We got that out of the way. So, let's see. In the chat, first in was Kingpin, then Ozzy, then Kevin in New York. That's it so far. But I said there's always a delay for people to show up anyway. So, and right now my panelist is I got New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Almost didn't make it, but I had to dish out a little tough love, and I was able to attend today.
I really appreciate that. Issued out tough love, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then my other panelist in disguise is Patriot in the Dark. How you doing?
Long time watcher, first time caller. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. And Rob.
Yeah, so I mean that's it at the moment. I know it's Saturday afternoon. People are more likely doing stuff or glued to their TVs watching what's happening over in Ukraine. I don't know. You know. But I got my own issues. But actually, talking about Ukraine, as an how can I put this without offending people? In the big scheme of things, of what's going on, you know, with our little, I don't know, our everyday life, for lack of a better word, does what's happening over there really matter to us? You know? Because, yeah, I get annoyed thinking, you know, how in hell it ever get to this? But then I said, oh well, it's happened. I mean, stuff like that, not in Europe, not in sort of like the Western Hemisphere as we know it. But this happens all the time in third world countries that they're fighting each other and one's going in, taking over land, and a few years later they back off, and it's the same principle, really. You know? Besides, I mean, by the look, and this is me, I don't know if I should say this, just because, as everybody knows, that YouTube removed one of my live chats because I was given misinformation about the 2020 election. So they removed that, and I appealed it. I said, "Come on!" I said, "All I'm doing is talking and giving my opinion." You know, I said, so I don't see it being a problem. They said, your appeal has been denied, and it's still removed. So there we go.
So no more strikes or anything?
Not yet. Not yet. So we'll see. Now, I was okay, Sean. I guess it wouldn't matter if you like energy prices the way they are, or geopolitical position looking as weak as it's ever been, and the Cold War returning to the way it was around 1985. Yeah, I mean, it is having an effect on our wallets, but it was having an effect on our wallets before he invaded. I mean, this is just making. I mean, I'll be honest. Here in our little town of Birdseye, Indiana, Thursday, I went and put $20 in my gas tank, $3.29. Drove past the gas station Friday morning, and it's $3.49. Went up 20 cents overnight. You know, so would it have gone up that high if he hadn't invaded? I doubt it, but it would still go up. I don't want to see another Cold War. I mean, because basically it costs us money, and that means we pay more for everything. I don't want to see it, but I'm just saying in the big scheme of things. You know, I don't know. I was trying to personally myself. I think we should go in there and kick ass. Personally, and get it done out of the way. But that's not the correct way of doing it. I guess
gas prices were already going up.
Yeah,
have been going up. So it's hard to say if it would have, been at this rate or this is just convenient timing to where it would have went up anyway. But now this is seen as an excuse. So I don't know. So that effect, I think prices and stuff. If you could state is true, then obviously it's going to be spread across the board, but we're already being stressed. I see it as kind of like a compounding issues on top of the problems we already had. So you can't put all the blame on that in a sense, my opinion.
Well, this invasion,
feel for the people of Ukraine, but I'm not sure on tit for tat with the government on, what land was whose and stuff. So I reserve my opinion on that, but I do feel for the individuals, the average people caught in the middle. So, that's a crap deal either way.
Yeah, but it's just, but what I'm saying, it happens all the time around the world, this kind of shit. But it's affecting us.
It does.
What are we going to do? Besides going in there physically and taking him on, which means there's chance of American soldiers dying, right? Which we don't want. We don't really need another war. We can't afford another war, But I just read before we went live that everybody wants who makes a decision to remove Russia from the SWIFT banking system. Germany is the one that's holding it all up. They don't really want to do it because they're afraid it's going to hurt their oil that they get from Russia. So, the worst thing is they, this starting really, our energy was shut the day he took office and shut down the pipeline, and stopped us being energy, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-sufficient in energy. But we could still become, and all he's got to do is open the pipeline and let the drilling start happening again. So I don't know. It's just it's just I don't know. I'm lost for words. I'm frustrated, lost for words, because there's nothing I can do. Not right now. Yes, maybe do something when it comes to voting time to get idiots out of Congress, but that doesn't help things right now, this minute. So I don't know. It's I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to move on because I just get frustrated. I mean, what I did like though was, unfortunately he died, but those 13 soldiers on Snake Island, when that Russian warship or whatever told them that they wanted them to surrender, and he told them to F off. Of course, then they blew the shit out of them and they all died, but stood his ground. Now they're the citizens are fighting, grabbing weapons and everything else. They shouldn't have never had their weapons taken away from them, but they don't have a Second Amendment to protect them either. So, yeah, it would take months to get everything going again, Sean, because they have been shut down for over a year. So they more likely all have to be overhauled before they can fire them up and get them working again. I totally understand that. We're screwed. As a country, we're screwed. There ain't no two ways about it. And I can't say anything about the 2020 election because I'll more than likely be taken off of YouTube. That's what they told me. No more warnings because I appealed it. So I don't know exactly what that means, but they're just going to shut me down, boom, like that without anything. I don't know. So I was thinking, if that's what they got me on, misinformation. Hell, since the election, I have at least 3/4, if not more, of my live chats say that I didn't agree with it. So all they got to do is pick another one, and I'm gone. Oh, Sean thinks Putin's legacy building. Yeah, some people think he's lost it. Yeah. So anyway, Squib's joined us. How you doing, Squib?
Takes a while to get to that mute button sometimes. Rick, I saw your email about your warning, and I just heard what you said. I don't think you understand how it works. You're far from getting shut down, but they could shut any of us down at any time for any reason, and there really isn't any recourse. But you're far from getting shut down.
Oh, okay. All right. If I am, I just, I am. It's the way I look at it. So, anyway, I'm just going to shut up and let you guys talk. So it might be a silent hour.
Well, I wouldn't recommend pointing out any ammunition for them to use against you.
Oh no.
They come across something, that's on them, but whether somebody reported you or the algorithm picked it up.
I think an algorithm picked it up, to be quite honest with you.
Possibly. But, that wouldn't necessarily kiss the ring, but I wouldn't, light myself on fire either. So.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind. But we'll see. It'd be interesting because our conversations usually aren't filtered in that aspect. So
yeah,
be interesting to see how it goes moving forward.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I should say it or not, but I got other ways to keep going. So if I want to keep going. So anyway, what's new in the totally change the subject. I am totally disgusted. They've absolutely gutted our constitutional carry bill here in Indiana. It came out of Senate and it's going to the Senate floor, but it's got nothing in it. It's literally dead, basically, because all permanentless carry was taken out of it. A permanentless carry bill, the permanentless carry section was deleted from it. All it allows now, basically, is because of the pandemic, it's taken longer to get permits than it used to. So what the new bill says now, if you've applied for a permit, between applying and receiving your permit, you're allowed to carry your firearm. As long as you've applied for a permit. Fucking big deal. That's what, and these are so-called Republicans, Second Amendment advocates who fucking let this happen. Now, one senator said there is a way who wants to keep it alive. He says we're going to have to tack it on to another bill. Like the federal government does when they hide them inside another one. So, all right. So that's what's happening here. So this is the second year in a row we've got shafted. And it's mainly because it all comes down is the chief, president, superintendent, whatever his name is, the head honcho of the Indiana State Police. He doesn't want it to happen. He feels this is their thing. I know they're free now, but you still have to pay for fingerprints. And even if, because there's a lot of places here in Indiana where you go and it's a private organ. When I went and had mine done, I went to a car insurance company, and they do it as a side thing. But a portion of that money, it costs $15. Part of that, I think most of that $15 goes to the state police. That's all it is. It's all about the money. But what?
Charge me $100 for fingerprints here.
Do what?
They charged me $100 for fingerprints.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
From a separate organization. And then when I went to apply for my permit, they actually took my prints there and put one on my permit as well. So I don't know why I had to pay for it twice, but that's, I didn't necessarily pay for it twice, but I paid for the permit process and then paid a private company $100 to get my fingerprints, even though the sheriff's department took them right there anyway. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the reason he used when he got up and done his speech at the committee hearing was that he feels that law enforcement, if it was permanently carried, they would need to build a database of people who are not allowed to carry. Because he feels that if they stop at a traffic stop at 2:00 in the morning, and the guy has has a firearm on him, they need to run the name to find out whether he's a prohibited person or not. That's his that's his justification for not wanting it to pass. And so those rhinos ripped it out of the thing. So there we go. So roll call was right. Last week he said it ain't going to happen. There's no chance in hell of us getting permanent as carry. And he was right. I thought he was going to be wrong. I thought we were doing it, but we're not. So, oh well. It seemed, I mean, to me, it's asinine. I get a free permit, but I mean, I have to have it to either carry open. I mean, it's not concealed, it's to carry a firearm. I can carry it open or concealed in Indiana, as long as you have a permit. But it's free. And I don't see the point of having a permit if you're not paying for it. You know? What in the hell do I know?
I can see the option being there for acceptance in other states.
Oh, I can understand having a permit for, as you said, reciprocity with other states. You know, I would get one just for that alone. You know, but I don't think we should have to have one to carry one in your home state.
No, I kind of agree. And in a sense, a list of prohibited people I'd be more for than all us legal people having to hop through a bunch of hoops. I mean, we didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why we have to prove our innocence in order to use, use our rights in a sense. In my opinion, it shouldn't be that way. Almost like a court of law. You know, they should bring something against you, or you have that, you're a felon, whatever the case. Even though I don't necessarily agree with that either, but in some cases, but then you're on that list almost as a sex offender or something like that. So therefore, you go buy a gun, you're on that list, you got a problem. You know what I mean? But the rest of us shouldn't really be hassled. Yeah, my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and also when you think about it, as Sean says, I mean, they've got we have to have a permit still. So law enforcement basically has a list already who has firearms. Not who doesn't, but who has. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've got a permit, there's a damn good chance that you're carrying a firearm. It's the way I... But, hell, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. And then, pointed out a good thing today. I was watching, he's over dramatic lately, but what's his name? Guns and Gadgets. He showed something today about Moms Demand Action, where they're going after stand your ground laws. And where I'm going on with this is it's you know how now assault weapon is an everyday word. High capacity magazine is an everyday phrase because they use it and it becomes everyday language. Well, they all their gumph they're putting out because they want they're going state by state trying to get stand your ground laws either canceled in the states that have it, but they're calling it hashtag shoot first law. And that's what they're not saying stand your ground. They're going shoot first law. And I can guarantee you within 6 months, that's the phrase everybody will be using. because they pump it out and all the media picks it up and they all keep saying it. And before you know it, the language is being changed.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Honestly, they sound like a bunch of criminals that got something to be worried about, in a sense. But yeah, not all of them, but it shouldn't be a problem if you're not looking for a problem, in a sense.
See, I mean,
in a lot of cases, so that does seem strange. I would like to see the push the other way, where it is more standard ground, and
well,
in a
multi-brand
sense, the
action
public.
is never going to push to have more of it.
Well, we should, because then the public can depend on themselves versus somebody a phone call away, which may or may not show up in a reasonable time, which may or may not put themselves in harm's way, which may or may not decide to arrest you. So, it would be nice if the individual had that ability instead of, dying while they're waiting for somebody to come save them.
I don't know. So anyway, I mean, from what I can figure out, maybe a lot of people are saying that, the Supreme Court, their decision is going to come down in the favor of 2A. I hope to God it does, but, we'll find out how politically the Supreme Court is when we get the decision, won't we? I got a feeling it might come down in favor of the New York Rifle Association, but it's going to be so narrow, it ain't really going to affect the rest of the country, personally. Because I reckon the way they word it, it's not going to affect the rest of the country. Because that's how, it depends how they word it, which makes the big difference. So, I don't know. I'm just waffling on here. You guys jump in anytime. Don't let me hold you back.
That's giving Squibb a chance, but I'd state back to that thing we we're just speaking of, in some senses, some gun owners don't help the case. I'm totally with the standard ground laws, but I'm not with people like threatening or, talking shit and running back to grab your gun to deal with it. I don't understand. If you're going to talk shit, expect to get punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you just reach for a gun. And some of those cases, I think, are what those people use to push against for bills like that.
No, absolutely.
And it's, I don't think it's something we're ever going to get out of, because there's all types of different character people and everything. But unfortunately, that's something where I feel we should try to police our own a little better. When your friend is being a jackass, say something, things like that. Because in a sense, everybody's a representative for 2A. I'm not one for optics, but in a sense, we should clean up our own too. So.
Yeah. But see, basically, I think what the anti-gunners don't like about stand your ground is the state has to prove that you're the guilty one, instead of the other way around, where you got to prove you're innocent. They got to prove that you're guilty. From what I can figure out.
Space. Send link graphic gun deals. Button. Link. Blank. Unlabeled graphic blank. Unlabeled graphic. Unlabeled graphic file.
Your stuff's going crazy, Patriot.
Stuff's going crazy there, Patriot.
That's it. Well, that's kind of the whole point. They should. That's the way it's supposed to be. If there's an issue, they got to prove the case against you. So why should it be any different? That doesn't make sense.
If somebody's trying to attack me, why should I have to try to retreat? in my opinion. I shouldn't have to.
Within reason, most cases I'd agree to, but just because you can doesn't mean you should all the time. And I think that's a lot of situations. Just because a woman gets up mad or gets upset and smacks you doesn't mean you should just lay her out. Because, you know, we're all equal opportunists nowadays and stuff. So some could say that's to be expected. But, you know, just because you can doesn't mean you should. But those times you actually do have to, you know, they should have to prove you did something wrong, in my opinion. Strength of not being able to do something, squish a bug, really kind of determines an individual, in my opinion. You don't have to use, you know, overwhelming force in every situation. That restraint that, you know, let's say Kyle used that night. He didn't just pull the trigger on everybody. He could have shot a few people. Like a lot of people stated, you know, they had more restraint than he would have in that point, and or he had more restraint than they would. That type of stuff, you know, you don't have to in every situation. So, yeah, that's, again, it's a fine line, and everybody's in a different spot. But I think some of that where people just instantly jump to taking a life is what kind of makes us look bad in some cases.
Yeah, it does happen though, but it's no matter what they do, it's still gonna happen. There's always gonna be that one asshole out there that
definitely. Limiting it is the key. You know, everybody's has a bad day. How often is the issue? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's probably a bad way of putting it, but yeah, it's definitely limiting.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe having more restraint, not walking into a situation just because you feel safe because you have a gun. Because I'm sure some will agree, a gun isn't a guarantee. So don't just assume because you got a gun it's the end all.
Oh, I agree there.
It's that cockiness that, you know, I don't know.
You know,
immature, always got my ass kicked as a kid. Now I'm an adult with a gun and I'm going to show these guys. That attitude. That's the problem.
No, we can't have an attitude like that.
You shouldn't have that. You know?
I was always bullied as a kid. You know.
Hey man, I could shut this down with my stories about being bullied, but that's still no excuse to go around itching for a reason to show somebody something.
Yeah, but there's some guys I sure like to, you know. I wouldn't. You know, there are some guys I would really like to beat the shit out of them, but I want to be able to hold the gun on them while I can do it because they won't move because they're going to be scared I'm going to shoot them. Then I beat the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not helping my cause here.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think I'm any. Actually, I don't think I'm any braver going out because I'm carrying a gun at all. You know? I mean, and more than likely, to me, if for some unknown reason, I don't see at my age why this would happen, but somebody gets in my face for something, I would more likely take a swing at them more than I would pull a gun and shoot them. You know what I'm saying? I'd be more likely to get into an actual physical fist fight than pulling my firearm and shooting them. I would say. But,
yeah, I'm probably in that boat too for most situations.
Yeah.
Which is nice about concealed because then it's not something that's, you know, it's out of sight, out of mind at that point. Obviously, you try to avoid conflicts, but
yes,
I would escalate to a gun if I had to. You know, wouldn't always be my first choice. Back off, or I'm going to shoot you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't. To me, that's almost threatening somebody. Like in the right situation, that would just fire me up even more. So, like, you know, and people would say, "Well, that doesn't escalate. It could escalate." With me, it might escalate the problem. Like, I don't do well with threats. But there's other people where they might just turn away. Everybody's different. So I don't know. But I'm just not with the whole, let me talk a bunch of shit. And then when you come at me, I'm going to run back, grab my gun, talk more shit while I threaten you not to come at me. Like, to me, that's just ludicrous.
So what Rob's saying is that if him and I got into an altercation and he came at me and I showed him my firearm, didn't necessarily unholster it, or just told him I had one, didn't even show it, and that pissed him off even more, then that means I've got to jump it up 1, 2, 3 levels and just put him down right there. Thanks for the warning, Rob.
Yeah, maybe. With me, possibly. It all depends on the situation. So.
Well, see, that kind of comes down to play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If somebody is going to be gentleman enough to give you a warning, whether they actually brandish a firearm or not, and you decide not to take them up on that offer, instead you decide to go ahead and push it, I guess you got what you asked for. Maybe not what you deserve, but what you asked for.
Maybe. I mean, I can tell you, like I said, there's different situations. So, and I'd appreciate if you're not like, so what Rob's saying, because I already said what I was saying. So technically, basically, again, in an altercation like the one where the father was shot, I'd be upset too if the guy came out and wants to scream and yell at me with a firearm there. When you guys are technically in the wrong with holding my child that isn't even here and all this bullshit. Of course I'd be upset. That's me. So, and granted, like I said, there's no guarantee. You brandish, that's an action. My reaction might beat your counteraction. So you never know. I'm just stating, I would rather not bring that up until it was absolutely necessary. And in my mind, then I'm actually 100% justified. I don't have to worry about people saying I was threatening people or this or that. And again, if you're going to stand there and talk shit to somebody, expect to deal with it. Like, that's like, I don't know, messing with some kid around the corner and running to your mom to help you. Like, as if your mom's a gun, she's going to close the door and stop it. If you start shit, expect the answer for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
See, in my state, brandishing is illegal. I think they knocked it down to a misdemeanor last time they changed the laws, but I don't agree with that. I understand that brandishing could escalate a situation, but it can also de-escalate a situation. If you've got multiple attackers facing you, you've got an armed attacker, doesn't necessarily mean they got a gun, but you have an armed attacker, you have a larger attacker, a more aggressive attacker, and you have the opportunity. It's not always there. It's not always going to be there. It's a case by case on every self-defense situation. And you can't judge necessarily one by the other. You might be able to use some things from a previous one, but they're all individual. But if you show them your firearm, that doesn't necessarily mean drawing it. It simply means lifting your shirt and saying, do you really want to do this? If they want to do it, then now it's on them. It's not on you. That's why I don't agree with laws that say brandishing is a crime. All right. Now, if you pull out the gun and start waving it at people, going, get the hell out of my way, I'm late for work. Yeah, for me, that's different. Okay. But when you're trying to de-escalate a situation, so maybe the law in my state needs to be reworded, whereas if it's deemed that you have, well, actually, when you do brandish a weapon, if you do get arrested for it and you do go to trial or the district attorney looks at it, they will look at whether or not they think you de-escalated a situation. I'd just like to see more wording in there about it, because I believe there's a difference between making an empty threat or threatening public safety and actually doing everybody a favor. That person that said, screw this, I don't want no part of this, I'm walking away, they live to fight another day, and so do you. And in other cases, you got some hothead or somebody who's hyped up on drugs or alcohol or they're mental or whatever, and they want to go ahead and take the freaking room temperature challenge, go right ahead, man.
Yeah, but half the time the hothead is the guy with the gun.
Real quick.
And that's the problem.
Keep on talking amongst yourselves. Somebody's knocking on my door. Be right back.
All right.
Uh-oh.
In my opinion,
pull a gun up at the door.
That's the problem, is half the time the hothead is the guy with the gun. So in that situation, you're just going to bow down and back away. A lot of people will. Not everybody will. So, Put that out there. That's all I'm stating. So, like, I get it when the guy with the gun's the good guy, but sometimes the guy with the gun's not the good guy. Sometimes he's the asshole because he's got a chip on his shoulder because he's got a gun. So you ask him to, excuse me, can you please move, or whatever the case is, and the guy wants to start shit. You say something back. Next thing you know, he's flashing the gun at you. I take that as a threat. So now I can kick things up a level. You know, so it all depends on, you know, where you're at on what side. That's why I just prefer guns are brought out to end problems, not to try to stop them. But again, you know, just my opinion. So I know we're going to argue about this all day.
No. Well, the main reason I disagree is the main reason I open carry. You see me with that gun on my hip, you're not going to ask for trouble unless you want trouble. And if you want trouble and you want to come get it, you're going to find out exactly what trouble is for me. I'm not going to threaten you. I'm not going to have a chip on my shoulder. I'm not going to anything. You see that, you go somewhere else. If you don't want to go somewhere else, what you're going to learn is that you made a bad choice that day. That's just it.
Possibly, but there's no guarantee either way. Either way. So you can say there is, but there's no guarantee I don't walk by, give you the finger, hop in my car, and just run your ass down when you're not looking. There's no guarantee. I mean, is it likely? No. Is it common? No. But people do weird shit. Let me tell you, like, you know, especially, I won't even get into all that, but Niels, it don't have to make sense when somebody gets not right in the head when they're pissed off. It usually doesn't make sense.
The last time somebody tried to run me down, they stopped 12 inches before they hit me. I never drew my gun. I could have. I decided not to. I pushed my wife out of the way, and that was that. But I understand not everybody's going to be like me, or there's going to be the one time where I'm in a situation and maybe there is a potential for me to make a mistake. I'm not saying that everybody's like me, but I don't want to get penalized because there are people that maybe aren't as good about making a judgment call. At the end of the day, I understand the principle behind some of the restrictions, and I can, if it's put in a certain kind of way, you might get my support. But if it's put in another kind of way, you're just not. I know there's lots of people that tell me I'm a fool for open carrying, and you know that's fine. You guys want to conceal carry? Go ahead. Guess what? I have concealed carried. I had a concealed carry permit before some of you motherfuckers had a gun. Okay, I'm not against it just because I prefer open carry. But my open carry says if you want to die today, then I have the means to make that happen. But that doesn't mean I want it to happen. I don't. I absolutely never want to have to pull that thing out. The fact that it's in that holster and you can see it, I may not even have to say, do you really want to do this? And somebody else will walk by and go, I felt threatened because safe space, feelings, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about those people, all right? Your feelings don't mean shit to me.
All right, I get what you're saying, and I guess I probably shouldn't try to extend it out, but I don't know, I can't help it in a sense. Everybody's not intimidated of a gun. There's several people who've been shot dozens of times, and they're still doing the same shit. Like they don't, just because you have a gun, don't necessarily. It's like people with dogs. They think because I got a dog, it's the end. That works for the majority of people, but there are certain people that don't give a shit. Like when that line's crossed, they don't care. So, that's all I'm putting out there. You know what I mean? Again, and in most cases, you're probably fine. And I got nothing against open carry either. To each their own.
I get a ton of pushback over open carry all the time. And at no point have I ever said open carry is better than concealed carry or open carry should be the only thing. And people put those words in my mouth and it pisses me off. But in the same sense, I get what you're saying about the whole point a gun at me and see what happens kind of thing, because if you point a gun at me, I'm not afraid. I'm pissed off. Don't you dare point that fucking thing at me. I don't care. I don't care if you got a badge or not. Don't do it. Now, does that mean that I'm necessarily going to go right to my gun if a gun is pointed at me? Not necessarily. There's all kinds of situations. Somebody could be flagging me. It could be a situation where law enforcement comes in and they don't know who the good guy is and the bad guy is. I've got to be smarter than them. But that still doesn't mean that, like you said, every situation's a guarantee, right? You have to make a judgment call. And I think all of us make that judgment call based on our skills and our experience. And in different places, making that judgment call can land you in jail. In other places, it doesn't.
I'm back.
Oh, I think I want to do what you're doing and just start carrying job applications like right behind my wallet. So if somebody tries to rob me, I'll just whip out the application and they'll take off and run. So I know it's working good for you. Sorry, go ahead, Rick. I'm just trying to.
No, I said I'm back. It was some landscaper from the landlord. He was letting me know what he's planning on doing, and I was trying to tell him I don't care, just do it.
Hey, Rob,
go on.
You've got business cards, right?
Yeah.
When you have one printed up, they don't need to see your business license or any crap. Like, you can have any kind of business card printed, right?
Yep. You got the money, you can get the cards.
So if you carried around a bunch of business cards saying that you were a recruiter for a temp agency, wouldn't that be just as good as having job applications?
Probably.
We're going to rob you and you're like, hey, give me a call. We could use some help.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, probably.
Okay. So what did I miss?
Not much. Squib pulled my hair and I kicked him in the crotch. That was about it.
Yeah. And Patriot in the Dark hasn't made it back yet.
No, but did you notice that his phone sounds like G-Webs?
Who's Patriots? Yes. I think personally, I think G-Webs is sort of like a not mystical, but he's not who he claims to be. Because Patriots sounds like him awful lot. So just saying.
Nah, I can verify, testify. Patriots, not G-Webs.
So.
Guys and your conspiracies.
I haven't seen.
Yeah. Now, see, I've stood next to both of them, so I can say they are two separate individuals. G-Webs is taller than Patriot, but Patriot's kind of a tall guy. But yeah, they're definitely two different people.
Yeah. I've never met him, so I don't see him much in chats anymore. But then again, see, I don't spend a lot of time on here anymore, like I used to. So, but I do see he does put out videos on, and he does hold chats because I am subscribed to him, and they do show up on my feed.
Guns and Barbecue invited you to some sort of health chat, and you didn't show up.
I know.
And he said he was going.
No, I didn't say I was going. I said I would try.
I'm pretty sure I thought you said you were going to make it.
No, I said I would try.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, go back and look. I don't think they removed that one yet.
Look, Rick, getting that warning, I can understand you being pissed off. When I got my warning, I was pissed off because what they said I did, I didn't do. They said that I gave out medical advice in a video, and nowhere in that video did I do anything even close to that. I simply told a story about what happened to me. Nothing else. But that's YouTube. We don't pay to be on YouTube. I would pay, if it was reasonable, a monthly fee to be a YouTuber if they said, we're not going to censor anything unless you actually commit a crime, like you murder somebody on your channel or something, right? Otherwise, I would pay a fee as long as there was no censorship. Hell, depending on what the fee was, I might pay a fee just so my viewers don't have to watch those stupid ass commercials.
Oh, tell me about it.
There's a couple commercials for products I support, but even I can only have those commercials go off so many times before I'm going, damn, I like Grip 6, but really, guys?
Yeah. I mean, the other day I watched, I can't remember who was it. It was one of the ones I subscribed to, put up a 35-second short, and I had 15 seconds of commercials before it started. I thought, Jesus Christ. And is it me or is YouTube throwing up more commercials than before? It seems like every 5 minutes.
It comes in waves. So they'll have a situation where more companies are willing to pay for ads, and when they get that, they just flood it, and then they'll have them throttle back and not think that YouTube's a good platform or not have the money for it or whatever it is, and you won't see as many ads. So as long as those companies are willing to pay for it, YouTube's going to keep flooding it with that.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's free. Okay, YouTube is free to watch. It's free to be on. I get that. But here's the thing. If this thing is so smart that it can pick you saying a word you didn't say out of one of your videos or out one of your live shows, then why can't it say, all right, we've given him this commercial 20 times today. I think it's time to switch to another commercial.
Yeah, because they keep I don't know about anybody else, but right now, the one they're pushing on me is the, that company that changes your windshield in your vehicle.
Safe Light.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting that commercial every 5 minutes. I'll be sitting there watching, like even watching one of Squibs. And in a 10-minute video, I will get 2 commercial breaks. It's getting annoying.
And for the record, I'm not monetized. At no point have I said, yes, I'd like to be a partner and have commercials on my stuff. They just started doing it. I noticed it last year, and I don't have any power to do anything about that. Somebody might go, well, they're going to do it. You might as well be monetized. And I guess it's like, yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. But the whole thing is, if it were up to me, like if it was like $25 a month and my viewers didn't have to watch ads, I'd just shell out the cash. Well, actually credit. But I'd shell out the money, virtual or not. I'd shell out the money just so that, because that's kind of bullshit. But I also get it. YouTube has to pay their bills. I get it. It's just the way they, like you said, sometimes they'll just saturate, and it's like it's terrible.
Yeah. But then that's how other YouTube channels get money, by the amount of commercials that are played and watched. Am I correct? The ones that are monetized?
That's correct.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I watch a couple of homesteading videos, and these guys have quit their jobs to become full-time YouTuber homesteader type people. And he just bought one of them just bought a spanking brand new pickup. Had to be $80,000.
Well,
so
Squid just made the hit list of like probably half the YouTubers we know because of this. I'll pay to avoid ads running, because you better check your back seat, look out the door before you go outside. You're gonna have a freaking mob coming for you now.
That's all right. That's all right.
I like that idea, but I'm sure lots of people are ready to make you a speed bump at this point.
The thing is, though, I remember one channel that I watch. They said, "Oh, I don't know if there's commercials played or not because I pay for YouTube Red. Oh, and by the way, join my Patreon because I can't afford to pay the damn bill for StreamYard." And I'm going, yeah, and your Patreon pays for that YouTube Red as well. Or, now it's YouTube Premium or whatever. And the price has gone up. It used to be like $5 a month. Now it's like $15. And I suppose if you want that, that's fine. But I have 4 YouTube channels. I'm not shelling out $60 a month for this. Now, on the other hand, like I said, for my viewers, all 38 of you, it says I got 600 subscribers, so I get like 38 views. For all 38 of you, yeah, for $25 a month, yeah, I would pay YouTube to not put commercials on my videos because my videos suck. So the fact that you guys are taking time out of your life that you can never get back to watch my videos, that's the least I could do for you.
Yeah. Then have to watch the same fucking commercial twice in the same video.
I'd like to know if anybody's out there, if you can comment on one of my videos, if you get a Grip 6 commercial before I do a Grip 6 review, or you get a Midway USA before I do a Midway USA unboxing or something like that, because I still haven't seen that. And I've got both of those coming up here in probably the next 3 weeks.
I've never seen one of those ever.
Let me know if you get an Adam and Eve commercial in front of one of my videos.
Adam and Eve?
Oh, yeah, man. Great place for lingerie.
And that's an adult website.
Victoria's Secret, dude.
Yeah, they gone out of business, but they're a little pricey. Adam and Eve's a lot cheaper, especially it's not like they're wearing it long.
Adam and Eve has other stuff besides lingerie.
You fucking whores and your damn cheap ass lingerie.
Hey, you act like it's an all day attire. I mean, we wish it was. One day I move somewhere tropical. Oh yeah, but
So have
tell
you
you
ever
$75, $80 for a fucking bra gets old quick, man.
So have you ever taken your lady to a Louis Vuitton store to buy a purse?
Hell no, they wouldn't even let us use the bathroom.
Dude, free champagne.
Nah, I don't have the credit rating to walk through that door, Squib.
Not like you, Squib.
That would explain that machine that beeps. Like, sir, you can wait outside. They don't beep for me. I tell you what, though, I went to the damn Mercedes-Benz dealer, and those motherfuckers made me wait outside. They made me wait outside because I didn't look like the kind of person that would come driving in a Benz.
Yeah. Oh, when I was in my mid-20s, when I was living and working in England, I walked into a Rolls-Royce dealer, and I asked them how much it was, and they said, if you have to ask, you can't afford one. Good day, sir. And they escorted me out.
That's funny. It reminds me of going to this place to get a suit, and pretty much the same experience. Came in and asked if they had any deals going, and the guy just gave me this look, and he's like, "Yeah, the store you want's down the street," and he walked me to the door. I was like, "Thanks, man."
Yeah. Oh, talking about deals, I wouldn't call it a deal, but totally changed subject. Guess what I had for lunch yesterday?
Ooh, is it a salad?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my man. All right.
Now I'll be honest. It had little chunks of ham all over it, like croutons.
That's all right.
Right, and I did use light Italian dressing.
Okay. Nothing wrong with any of that.
Hey, it's a start.
Hell yeah, good job.
Charged me $8.
Ooh.
Yeah,
well, that's still cheap compared to here. I got a salad the other night that was $17, and it was freaking horrible.
We're talking a dinner plate size salad. It's fair size, and it's piled up. So it filled me up. Let's put it that way. So it even had eggs in it as well.
Nice.
Ham, lettuce, of course, tomatoes, onions. It was quite nice, actually.
The only thing I miss about buffets is salad bars, where you can load up all types of stuff, man. Oh, good stuff. But I've had a ban on buffets for years now.
Why?
It's honestly like snot-nosed kids, dirty-ass people. Everybody plays with shit. They're picking stuff up, playing with it, touching it, grabbing it, putting it back. It's just, like you just sit there and watch, and I just get disgusted with society, honestly. You're supposed to teach your kids how to behave before you go out, not scream at them as they're jumping on the tables and shit while you're out. I don't get it. I don't understand all this. But true, I'm not paying to eat there. Unfortunately for an employer, we'll say, I was we were all sent to like an old country buffet and didn't really have much of a choice in the matter. And ever since that, I've just my own free will. I just won't do it anymore. Except Golden Corral. I will go to a Golden Corral, but I got a special spot in my heart for that since Kentucky. So
Yeah, see, I was gonna say that it was a 10-year-old sneezing into the broccoli is what did it.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, but you see them; they'll be like, two knuckles deep in their nose, and then grabbing stuff, and then they'll take a few steps, go put it back, and it's just, I mean, come on, man, this is no good.
Yeah, they need. I mean, yes, you're right. Though kids weren't taught like I mean, didn't behave like I did. I was taught how to do this shit.
Now, see, Outcast, you and your lady ever come with me to Las Vegas? I'll take you to some buffets. You'll shit when you see the price, but I think it'll get you back into buffets.
It's got to be clean. That's one of my biggies. It's got to be clean. I'd prefer it's clean before it tastes good, because at least I'm not going to get sick or die from it.
All you can eat prime rib, man. All you can eat.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah, and they'll bring you what the hell is that? Champagne and orange juice. What is that? Oh crap! I'm drawing a blank on what it is. It's somebody help me out in the chat. Mimosa. They'll bring you mimosas. So when you go in for the brunch on the weekends, it's unlimited mimosas and mojitos.
All right, sounds good. But how much does that cost you?
$15 extra for unlimited.
That ain't bad. That's not bad. But yeah, $15 more. But what's the price just for the buffet?
Depending on where I go, it's between $40 and $80 a person.
Holy shit!
Crap. That's an expensive buffet.
That's crazy.
You just don't know how to have a good time, dude.
No, you don't know how to have a good time. I could go eat a meal and take that change and have a hell of a good time. Way better than just sitting there to eat that meal.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, I would imagine that's the sort of like going price for Las Vegas or casino. I'm trying to think.
I'll be the dude with a bologna and chip sandwich in the back.
Yeah.
That I bring myself.
I can see you doing that.
At that price, you're damn right you can.
I can see you sitting there opening your pocket, pulling out your sandwich and unwrap it.
Or out at the car while he's eating.
Yeah, so they wouldn't let you eat inside. They would kick you out.
No, I'd be sure to come up to the window and eat my sandwich while I stared at him.
There's no window. The buffet is deep within a casino, so that riffraff like you aren't seen on the outside. If you want to do that with the sandwich, so what you do, here's the trick. Take that sandwich and go up on one of the crosswalks that goes over to Boulevard, right? And just sit there. You don't have to have a sign. You don't have to have a hat, a cup, or nothing. Just sit there with your sandwich. Somebody will drop a 20, then another person. Before you know it, you're making $200 an hour to just sit there with a sandwich. I'm not kidding.
Shit,
I'm not kidding.
But you go pay to eat at the buffet? That's crazy. I mean, you could be getting paid to gamble just by eating your lunch.
Hey, go to the thing with your sandwich, pick up $200, go to the buffet with that. There you go. So other people are paid for your buffet.
That's what the people down there that are professionals do. They seriously park at the parking structure at the casino where they want to hang out. They walk through the casino, walk out onto the boulevard, walk up, or take the escalator or the elevator up to the crosswalk that goes over the street so you don't get run over anymore. And they just sit there, and maybe they got a guitar, maybe they got a hat, maybe they have a sign, whatever it is. They sit there and people just drop 20s on them, and then they walk away. They go back into the casino. Maybe they gamble, maybe they don't. They get back in the parking structure. They jump in their fucking Lincoln and go back to their condo.
A Tactical Fud said Rob needs to sell more stands so he can eat the $80 buffet.
Well, once he gets that AK stand, I'm telling you what, he's going to be a millionaire.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why he hasn't made one yet.
Somebody owes him a Bakelite sample.
You know? So I'll just go buy a toy AK. It be the same measurements and make
Yeah,
it.
but they're orange and purple, and that's just really not going to work well. Put that on a stand and take a picture and see how many you sell. You know?
Yeah, we're talking about stands. I mean, like the AR wall mount I have behind me from rnldisplays.com. It comes with the table stand plus the wall mount. All the hardware comes with it to hang it up there. Go to the checkout and on your way out, type in Rick's Life and get 15% discount. American made, veteran owned. So there you go. rnldisplays.com.
You know, I thought Outcast was going to pop into the live chat this morning on the Caliber Corner to give some love to the 357 SIG people that feel neglected and say, hey, if you've got a 357 SIG Glock, my stand will fit it. But he wasn't there.
I wasn't there either. I mean,
hey, it'll fit. It doesn't need to be a Glock. It'll still fit
early.
the handgun display. Either way, handguns will fit the handgun display.
Caliber Corner started an hour early too.
Oh wait, I thought the handgun display was Glock only.
No. Even the Glock PCC style display will actually accommodate more than just Glock. If it's basic stick magazine. So I've seen images of other brand firearms, or even the PCC charger with the Beretta adapter in it sit fine on those displays. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Glock for even those stands. So please, by all means, normal, regular, American made, not overpriced guns fit on there just fine.
Oh, thanks for clarifying that. I thought it was a Glock only. Seriously.
No.
I mean, being Glock only, I thought G23 would have bought all you had.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, everybody always asks, what's the first question? Does it take Glock mags, right? So that's why I thought he made like a Glock only stand because of that. Which, by the way, have you guys ever priced Glock brand magazines? Holy crap!
Are they expensive? I don't know one, so I never look.
I may or may not have purchased some Glock 19 mags, and they're $30 a whack for Glock brand magazines. That's nuts.
Well, yeah, well, M&P aren't cheap either.
Yeah, they're about 40.
Yeah, they're 40 each, 39 at Gun Mag Warehouse. I mean, don't ask me how I know that, but there might be an M&P in my house.
Yeah.
The Pro Mags work for the M&P, though. People, hate Pro Mag, but that's why I feel the need to always throw it out there.
Oh,
the Pro Mags do work for the M&P.
You shouldn't have said that, because now I'm going to be out there looking for them.
Yeah, I've got a video showing. I mean, I've used them, and I bought a whole another supply and did those live. Well, not live, but on camera. So they do work in the M&P. So I can't speak for any other model of firearm in a sense or whatever. But M&Ps, they work fine, and they're half the price.
Okay, it's good to know. Yeah. Well, what's time? It's gone 4:00. Look at that. Don't you have fun when time flies? So I started off all gloomy and worried, but now I'm in a pretty good mood actually. So my cat's been here the whole show, sitting here, just looking at me. I don't know why. I know it's dinner time, but I think they're mad at me for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's got to do with treats. I'm getting low on their treats, and I'm not giving them. I'm only giving them sort of like 2 or 3 treats instead of handfuls because I'm getting short. So I go to the store tomorrow to buy some, and so I'm only giving them 2 or 3, and they're they're looking at me like, what in the hell is this? Because normally they get handfuls at a time.
They got a bad attitude. You just, finish them out and let them sit for a week. And make them appreciate again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually set an alarm to get up to catch Travis's show, but I forgot he was an hour early today. So
he was an hour early this morning.
Yeah. So did I. But when it went off, I shut it off and rolled over and went back to bed. I might have been up late editing videos, but I woke up with like a couple minutes to spare, and then he's talking to me, and I had no idea he pressed the go live button. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go get some coffee. And he's like, and we're live. And I'm like, Travis, you asshole.
Yeah, I had a tough love story too. If you got a quick second, I don't know if you're trying to wrap it up.
We're still live now.
Oh, I know. Okay. I figured you sounded like you wanted to hear more during the introduction, so figure I'll put it out there. My oldest daughter called right before the show, not long before, stuck on the side of the highway with a flat tire. So obviously, I'm wondering why is she calling me? She should be able to handle this. So basically, long story short, she changed her tire on the side of the road with instruction. So that was a tough love part. So was ready to go out there and help her out, but she was able to get the lug nuts loose. So she did it herself on the side of the road.
I mean, I'm assuming you've taught her how to change a tire before this.
Technically, no. And that's taboo, especially for me. But my oldest, when she left the house, it wasn't on good terms. She just disappeared one day. So, and that was prior to her getting a vehicle and whatnot. So, but we've had discussions since then, lots of conversations, blah, blah, blah. And this is just one of them things. So, good example out there. Make them learn.
Yeah. You know what?
It's a lot easier to learn in the driveway than on the side of the road on the phone.
I remember one time when I was still living at home. I left home. I didn't leave home till I was 23, to be quite honest with you guys. Why? It was free. You know what I'm saying? But my car had broken down. So my father had a spare runaround. It was an old clanker. And I said, can I borrow the car? He goes, yeah. He said, where are you going? I said, I'm just going down the pub. He goes, he said, all right, stay around town. Because that car, it's old. It's wore out. In case it breaks down, you ain't got far. We ain't got far to go to get it and all this kind of stuff. I said, yeah. Well, I drove it 40 miles to this pub out in the middle of nowhere. Had a good time, got in it, started coming home, left the parking lot of this pub, and it was back in the days when cars had clutch cables, right? And that clutch cable snapped, and the car died on me. You couldn't go anywhere. I called my father and said, car broke down. I said, the clutch cable snapped. He goes, I had to figure it out. He said, where are you? I told him. And he yelled, he said, I told you to stay around town. Make your own way home and put the phone down. This is about 2 o'clock in the morning. I got home at 6 a.m. That's tough love.
Yeah. I had a clutch cable go, but it ended up being because they still have those in some newer lower end cars where it's not hydraulic, and it depends on the brand, because the Honda is actually not a cable, but Neil's state. This was a Dodge, was a cable. Cable snapped right at the fork where the little connector goes on and the little window to transmission. And I actually use my pocket knife, because I turned into MacGyver real quick, made a little hole in my bottle cap, actually put the cable through, tied it on, and then stuck it back in, used something, forgot what it was, to bend the fork up so I could get it locking on. and it engaged it enough to where I was able to make it home. I just couldn't hit any big holes or big hills. Yep. That's one scenario. Another one, I was out of town, completely lost my clutch. I drove that son of a bitch home anyway, rolling through stop signs and, basically just going.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so you could have done it, man. You screwed yourself. You gave up on yourself.
But I've driven 30, 40 miles without brakes. My brakes.
Yeah, I did that too in Albany just recently.
And I drove home without any brakes. What I used was, it had the emergency brake was between the two front seats.
Mm-hmm.
So I would pull up on the emergency brake to slow myself down. I didn't go fast because I had no brakes. But if I had to stop, I would use the emergency brake, pull it up real slow to slow my ass down. I made it home.
Yeah, you guys remind me of a tough love situation with my oldest son. I remember when he was a teenager, I said, come on, get up. You're coming outside with your mom and your younger brother. I'm going to teach you guys how to change a tire. I'm going to teach you on a pickup truck. If you can do a pickup truck, you can do a car. And he goes, no, I'm good. I go, no, you need to learn this. He goes, it's not rocket science. And fast forward like 4 or 5 years later, and he calls me and he goes, hey, man, my car's got a flat tire, and I'm over here and I need some help. And I said, you should be able to change it. It's not rocket science. I said, and then I told him, I said, if there's anything you've ever learned, you should have learned it from me. And that was the end of the conversation. About a week later, he comes by. He's in a brand new car. I go, what the hell is this? He goes, you said to do what I learned from you. So I walked across the street, bought a brand new car, and left that piece of shit in the parking lot. And I'm good.
Wow.
Oh. Well, there you go. See? Did he buy it with plastic?
He's got a credit score because he runs up his stuff and then pays it off. He's got the cash for it, but I told him, stop using that cash and start financing it, but then just pay it off. Make sure there's no penalties, and then just pay it off. So he started doing that, and he ran up his credit score. And I remember last time he was thinking about getting a car, he goes, why should I finance it? I can just buy it cash. I've got enough money in the bank. And I'm going, only a moron would pull all their savings out of the bank to buy a car with cash. But, some people do that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Buy a more practical car.
Oh. All right, guys. I'm going to wind it up now. I'm going to feed my cats and feed myself. And I haven't decided what I'm having tonight. I got a choice between chicken noodle soup. It's cold today. Chicken noodle soup or hamburgers. I'm trying to think what I got in my freezer and fridge, coverage.
Burgers.
Go with the burgers. That's what I was thinking too.
I would. And with those choices, I'd go to burgers.
Yeah, me too.
What kind of soup do you buy? Is it the Campbell's, or are you buying something?
I buy the cheapest ass soup I can find.
Oh gosh, I definitely go with the burgers. That's my big complaint is some of those soups. I grew up on like the Campbell's and the cheaper stuff for steak. I call that cheaper stuff. Now they got the chunkies and all this stuff. That's what I like now. Don't get me wrong. But
the problem is when you buy the chunky shit, they normally throw maybe 1 or 2 vegetables in there, and it's normally always carrots. I hate fucking cooked carrots.
It's always something with you. But I hate that other shit, like the Campbell's chicken noodle, because there's like nothing in it. It's all broth.
9 times out of 10, I drink my chicken noodle soup out of a mug. I don't eat it out of
there
a
should
bowl.
actually be some chicken and noodles in there, man. That's the difference. Where the cheap soup and the good soup, it's packed full of stuff. That's almost actually a meal. That other stuff.
Yeah, it's a can of chicken grease, water, a chicken bouillon cube, and a shit ton of salt.
Hey, if I don't have chicken noodle soup, I'll eat ramen noodles, chicken flavored. Same thing.
Well, there's actually more substance with that. There's more noodles.
Yeah, true. But I'm going with the burgers, though. I got some onion, so I can slice some onion to go on the burgers. I'll have to look, see if I got any tomatoes.
Nice. Gotta have onion.
Yeah.
It's a burger staple.
Oh, absolutely. So.
Tomatoes are, I could live without them. Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I can live with or without them. I don't mind. I remember as a kid, I wouldn't eat one worth a damn.
I like tomatoes. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just, doesn't have to be on a burger for me. But obviously, cheese, onions, pickles, lettuce, that's a start to a good burger.
Now, see, it's that cheese thing again. I don't put cheese on a burger. Now, if you served me up one, I'd eat it with cheese. I do it all the time. For argument's sake, I haven't had one in about 2 years.
And you wonder why you get strikes. It's that anti-American crap right there, Rick.
If I would go to Burger King or McDonald's, one of those, and I'll go through the window and I'll say, I'll have a hamburger, please. Or I have a Big Mac or what? Not a Big Mac, a quarter pounder or something like that. And they'll go, cheese? I go, no. If I wanted cheese, I would fucking ask for it.
And I'm the next guy that's like, of course I want cheese. What kind of burger doesn't come with cheese? It shows it on the picture. Yeah. You're damn right I want the cheese.
You know when a burger comes without cheese? It's when you run out of cheese. Otherwise, it's got to have cheese on it.
Now, if there was I can't remember where I went one time, and actually, it was down at Deb's Diner. The Friday special one time was cheeseburger and French fries. That was the Friday special, and the salad buffet. Right? I said I'll take the cheeseburger. I'll eat cheeseburger that way. But if I can have a choice without cheese, I'll take it without cheese.
You know what, Rick? Now that I think about it, I freaking remember you. You remember back in '89 when you came back into the store with your quarter pounder and wanted another one made? The first time I ever made a quarter pounder, not a quarter pounder with cheese, a quarter pounder working at McDonald's, I put cheese on it. And the customer came back. They were in drive-thru, and they came back and walked in and they go, I want another burger. This is wrong. And they came and they said, make it. And I start putting cheese on it. And they go, what are you doing? And I go, I'm making a quarter pounder. They go, there's a quarter and there's a quarter cheese. There's two. Do you see CHZ after that QTR on the screen? I go, no. And they go, that's because there's a quarter pounder and there's a quarter pounder with cheese. And I go, I have never heard of a quarter pounder without cheese. What sort of communist
was that in America?
Yeah, and the customer heard me too. The customer heard me. I'm going, who in the fuck orders a quarter pounder without cheese? They had to have another guy make it. Pat, make that quarter because, he's not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm that commie. I have quarter pounders without cheese.
That was you back in '89. That was you.
But think about it this way too, guys. If you go to one of these fast food joints, ask them for the quarter pounder without cheese, right? And you'll get a fresh one because they got to cook it while you wait. The other ones are all pre-made. Think about it.
I don't know about that because I think they got all that stuff in like little drawers and they just microwave it anyway. So they probably just pull another patty or from another spot.
So they cook the
give
patty.
You two bottoms or something. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
They cook the patties and they put them in a plastic drawer that's got like a strainer on the bottom, and they put them in there. They set a timer, and it's supposed to be in there for so long. After that, you're supposed to throw it out, count how many things you throw out, and make new ones. They don't necessarily have to do that. So the bun and the condiments and stuff are somewhat fresh, but the meat, it could have been cooked 20 minutes ago. If it's me, it could have been cooked 4 hours ago. I just reset the timer.
if you
I
want
reckon all
fresh,
of them do
then
that too. You know,
avoid fast food if you want fresh. You know, because I'll just, you know, what kind of food can you come across a year later and it still looks the same and is like rock hard? Because I found some cheeseburgers in cars up at the scrapyard, and I know they've been there for years. And it, like, you can knock somebody out with that cheeseburger, but the meat's there, the cheese is there, everything's still sitting there. That is not real food, guys. Like this whole health thing barbecue's doing later. Fast food is not real food. It's fake. Just put it out there. It's genetic engineered, whatever crap. It's, you know, real food rots. Meat turns to maggots and bugs. Cheese goes bad. That gets moldy. I don't know what the hell they're putting on those buns, but it ain't normal meat and cheese.
So if you were with a chick that had fake boobs, you're saying that you'd just say no, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is she wealthy? Because those things need tune-ups, and they look like shit when they go flat. So if she can handle the maintenance, that's okay. But I'm not paying for that shit.
Oh, Ozzy said Pro Mag's working the tourist G2C, by the way. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. All right, let me get out of here. I just want another 10 minutes. All right. New York Outcast, you got any plugs or shout outs or anything?
Yeah, of course. Go check out Squibblo's channel. He's a big teddy bear. You know, he loves the sweet talkie over there. He's going to tell you not to stop by. It's this reverse psychology thing he's got going on. You know, some of the gems of the world are over there. So go check it out. Get yourself a display. Be a proud American. Help me out. I'd love to be the next Mike Liddell here, and I'll just hand out free guns to people or ammo or whatever I can if I get to that. But, you know, right now I'm still at the dollar store. But definitely, you know, I need to get some displays out there, pass the word, great gifts. Don't leave it for Buck and Ozzy to buy them all.
What you need to do is get yourself a table at the next SHOT Show.
Uh-huh.
It might cost you. It takes money to make money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to recover from my last takes money to make money venture. So,
yeah,
I'd love to, you know, I don't have to be profitable. Breaking even would be great.
Hey, try the, if they have it this year in Louisville, Kentucky, the NRA show. Get a table. You know, you'll be on the outskirts, but you have to start somewhere. Just saying.
If you tell people Squiblo to be there, you'll get tons of fans.
Yeah. How about going to Watermaker? Or is that how you pronounce it? Twice a year. Get yourself a little table up there. Hey, there you go. Clover Tech gets a table every year for anybody with credentials as a thing. Go there as a like a reporter and set up your little booth right there on the table.
Again, you know, it's financial. You know what I mean? So if I'm not in the hole, I could do more stuff. I have money available to do that. But at this point, I'm, you know, just trying to get there. So all these events, you know, travel, hotel, things like that.
Yeah, there's more than just buying the table.
You know, I don't profit $100 off every item or something. So, you know what I mean? It would take a lot of sales to even cover a trip like that in a sense. So,
well, what you need to do is get yourself an old beat up mobile home with your rebuilding skills.
Meth lab?
Strip it out, deck it out to make it livable, and use that. So when you go to these shows, you just live in your camper, you know?
Oh my goodness. You know how much the gas costs in those things?
You're always finding excuses, aren't you?
It'd be cheaper to stay at a hotel.
You know? Yeah, see, Tactical Fud said at the Tulsa show, media has a table. So that's what I'm saying. Clover Tech gets a table, the media. And I'm saying just set your shit up on there. your stands and sell them from there. You know, it's almost like being free. All you got to do is get yourself to Tulsa. You know, and then what you do is you bunk in with Clover Tech and Tactical Ghost or whatever. You just hang out with them. Sleep in their room, use that table, and you got it made.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was a pretty good
God.
idea myself, but I don't know how they would feel about it. But all right, Squib, you got anything?
After that, no.
All right. Okay, just before I go check out Squib's channel. He does have some great videos on there. He really does. So check him out. And what was I going to say? No, that's it. I should be back on Wednesday. Shooting with Disabilities. That was one of the ones they pulled off of me. It wasn't even a Saturday show. It was my Wednesday Shooting with Disabilities show that got that I was giving out misinformation on. So anyway, it was number 186. If anybody's interested, that disappeared because I gave misinformation on the 2020 election. That's all I'm going to say. So, all right. I want to say goodbye to everybody in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. We went off the rails on this chat there, but, I had a good time. So I want to say thank you. I'll be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, the only time zone that matters. So I will see you all then. So goodbye. Good afternoon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, Sabrina.
Eat salad.